How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about CEI Camber Energy. It had quite the pullback on the Friday, and there's some technicals on the chart that I want to share with you so we can get prepared for this coming week. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Camber Energy, CEI. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at 91 cents, being down 14.27%. On the low, it tested 88 cents, and then on the high, testing $1.01. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 105.871 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 224.982 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and it's part of the reasons why we've seen a pullback in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 56.09. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are above the 50-day, the 21-day EMA, but as you can see, we broke through the 100-day and as well as for the 200-day. And if you guys remember what I said in my previous video, if we start trading below 94 cents, then we have to be concerned. And part of the reasons being is it does have a gap that needs to be filled right here around 80 cents. So there's a good chance it's going to be filling in this gap for the coming week. But what we want to look forward to, will it be able to hold up around the 50-day after breaking through the 21-day EMA? So the 50-day is actually around 70 cents. And if it could hold 70 cents for that coming week and actually consolidate in this area, it does get it ready for the next move up. But if it's unable to do this and it breaks through 70, then we could see Camber going all the way back down here to around 58 cents. And if that doesn't hold, we'll see it all the way back down here to 53 cents. So this is one thing you're going to want to be aware of, and you could take advantage of those opportunities on the long side or on the short side. But as far as for this week, it does look fairly weak. And if you're looking for a bullish reversal, of course, it's going to have to get back above $1 and make that move at least to around $1.06. And having a close around that area can get us ready for the next move up, because we know as far as for the key level we want to look for is Camber getting above $1.50. So let's see how the stock performs for the coming week, but for now, it definitely does look bearish. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for CEI. So for the off-exchange short volume ratio, it is at 42.09%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 28.61 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.6 million, updated 3 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 15.05%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 10th, it was at 45.96. And then for the close of the 11th, being at 42.09. So what this shows us right away is that CEI does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CEI. So on the inflow is at 14.32, and then on the outflow is at 30.47. So you can see it was an outflow day, and keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the breakdown further, on the large it was 1.73, on the medium it was 8.68, and then on the small it was 3.91. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 5.33, on the medium it was 17.32, and then on the small it was 7.82. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see from March 11th for the Friday decided to just pass, we had that outflow of negative 3.6 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 42.35%. So no surprises, this is up there, but we know this is a volatile play. And it was very clear on the Friday there was a good amount of profit taking. So this is why it's very key that you have a strategy. We'll talk about that further inside of the final thoughts, so let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for CEI, Camber Energy, in regards to the price action, we ended up seeing a good amount of weakness on the Friday. We actually broke through the 200-day moving average, which we talked about being at 95 cents. So since it broke through the support level, where we want to see some strength is right at 80 cents. Remember, I told you there's a gap that needs to be filled to the downside. So I'm looking for that gap to be filled, and if the selling does continue, we can get back down to 53 cents where we do have some proven support, and that's an area where I'd feel I'd be adding to my position, and of course making sure I have a stop loss. We know as far as oil is concerned, I see prices are going to continue to go up. So as long as that's going to end up being the case, then I can see CEI having a potential to move, especially since it does trade in the oil and energy sector. Another point that I want to bring up, this is why I say do not be greedy when it comes to taking your profits inside of these choppy markets. On that Friday, we saw a lot of selling. There was a lot of money that was made, and if you did not protect yourself, then there's a good chance you could be down in this play. So this is why I say risk management is very essential, but of course, I feel there will be some more opportunities, and we could see this in the short and as well as for the medium term. But remember, this is a penny stock at the end of the day, so any capital that you're going to be using, just know that you cannot be afraid to lose it, and that goes with everything when it comes to putting money inside of the stock market. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why I say you want to keep this on your watch list. The moment we have more buying volume coming into the stock, we could see those strong moves to the upside, and that's why I feel it's very important to know those key support and resistance levels, and that's why we talk about it inside of the technicals. And before I close this video out, there's some things we want to look out for this coming week. We know we do have the Fed meeting, which they're going to be talking about how much they're going to be raising interest rate hikes, and then plus on top of that, we do have the quad witching that is happening on the Friday. So this is why it is very essential that you do your homework, you do your due diligence before jumping into any play, because it is going to be volatile, and I want to make sure that you guys are on the winning side of your trades. And if you want to join us over on the Discord, by all means do that. You can find the link down inside the description, and we'll be happy to have you a part of the family. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs for this coming week. We'll talk soon.